Cardiff City Foundation Academy is here to talk to us what they do in that foundation. So I'll hand over to Zach. Thank you.
Thanks, Juma. I'll just get the screen shared and get the PowerPoint up and
go on,
up and running. Great. So hopefully that's showing up all okay.
Yes, fine. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, just to introduce myself, my name is Zach Lyndon Jones. I'm head of community development here at Cardiff City Foundation. So we're the charity part of the football club, and I've been working for Cardiff City Foundation for about 7.5 years now, predominantly with our youth outreach program, which I'll explain a little bit later. So yeah, thank you for the invite today, just to come and share what we've been doing practically, I suppose, a little bit about what we were doing before COVID, and how we've had to adapt our services during the pandemic and what that looks like for us now. Just a little brief overview of Cardiff City Foundation itself. So, like I said, we're the charity part of the football club, and our aim is to support children, young people and families across South Wales to help them achieve their full potential. So how we do that is we want people to live healthier, more active lives. We want to improve education, employment opportunities to those people we work with as well. And the third point is we do it through reducing offending and re-offending as well. And then we have some practical programs of how we sort of try and deliver that against the different types of projects that we have. The one I'm going to concentrate on today is the KICS Youth Outreach Program, which is this. So prior to COVID, we were working in 20 communities across South Wales. So not just Cardiff based, we're in 7 different local authorities that we can work in. That's fortunately for us, the reach is quite vast, because we are only, well, not competitors, but we work as a charity part of the football club, and other football clubs. Obviously you've got Swansea City, Newport County, so therefore we can go as far as sort of Bridgend area up to Merthyr, Blaenau Gwent, Caerphilly, and then Cardiff itself then. So our style pre-COVID was to deliver free football sessions and available to young people ages 11 to 19 in the different communities across South Wales. Activities included then sort of weekly free sports sessions, holiday activities, which is our competitive element, so tournaments, competitions, cohesion events, a little bit like Nick spoke earlier, with bringing different communities together to sort of build on stronger and better communities and creating safe spaces so that people can interact with one another. And then different workshops then, depending on what the need or what sort of relevant at the time. So some of those might have included something from Show Race and the Red Card. Black Lives Matter was something we sort of covered last October as well. And then the bottom point I've got there is leadership and development program we have within our KICS offer as well. So that's sort of training and upskilling volunteers. So some of those volunteers may be people that are coming through our KICS system as young people, as they're sort of getting towards that 17, 18, 19 years sort of age. How can we sort of upskill them and give them some qualifications where they might have taken a liking to doing some sports coaching or youth work. And then we have peer leaders and peer-to-peer mentoring as well as what we're looking at achieving at the moment. So where some of the younger beneficiaries, some of the older beneficiaries sort of peer-to-peer mentor some of the younger beneficiaries coming through in their community, really. Obviously, the past 12 months has looked very different, and like many of you, we've had to adapt and transition our available activities onto a digital platform. So, and I know Cardiff Youth Service, you've worked very hard in sort of adapting your digital platform as well. And I know you were talking about the QR codes earlier, and Ben within my team has sort of introduced that into some of our work on the basis of some of the workshops that he's been along to that you've been able to offer recently. So our digital offer has allowed for young people to still stay engaged through fitness challenges. It might be online workshops, online calls, FIFA competitions as well. Just trying to vary it and listen to them in terms of what they may like as well from a digital offer. One-to-one mentoring is also something we're available for this as well. So in January 2020, we started taking referrals from youth offending services, schools, PRUs and the police. And this is a referral program where we work with young people ages 8 to 18 that are involved or at risk of being involved in youth violence. So we kept that program available during lockdown and has consistently grown during the period as well. But we found it's it's not quiet in town at all. We've had, if anything, we've increased the amount of referrals that have come in during the lockdown months, and many of those young people have sort of had mental health issues as part of the referrals as well, that then lead on to maybe youth violence later on, or might be going down that path. So that's been an important aspect of the work that we wanted to carry on. And then something that I know today's focused on, it's been new for us during this time, and is detached youth work and street-based work. So if we're honest, it wasn't something that we'd sort of considered prior to COVID, but as we looked at how we could actually begin face-to-face work with young people again, you know, allowing sports facilities to be open for 30 to 40 young people to come along and play some sport or just hang out and be in a safe space wasn't something that has been allowed through government restrictions much. There's been little breaks of it, I suppose, but detached youth work was allowing us to get back out there in July 2020, and we did that actually in partnership with South Wales Police, and then also with Steve's youth service street-based team when they were back operational as well. So for us, because it was new, it's not something we wanted to sort of do on our own with our staff. We put our staff through many of the different webinars and up-to-date sort of information that's out there on what it means for us to be able to go and do that. And what we found has been a great way of sort of just being able to get out there, speak to young people, listen to what they have to say. And we've actually bumped into a lot of the young people that we would have engaged with during the 3 football sessions. And more recently, we worked with British Transport Police last week, which was quite a niche initiative, I think. So that was on the trains. So we were starting off in Cardiff and working on one of the train lines all the way up to Bargoed and back. More just engagement. So we didn't want to be there to sort of enforce or tell young people about what they can and what can't they be doing, but it was more just like listening, engaging in a conversation, letting them know about some of the digital activities that we have going on through the foundation itself, and then just being that first sort of intervention with them on the trains. You know, do they know then about some of the restrictions, but also understanding what it might be that they want to do. So these are some of the areas that we've worked with or worked in. So the blue dots are where we would typically have a kick site across South Wales. So as I mentioned, there's the one dot in Bridgend there. We've got one down in a couple in the Vale of Glamorgan, one's in Lantwick Major. We go up then as far as Merthyr, covering RCT, and then we're scattered across Cardiff and Caerphilly as well. Detached work has sort of been in Cardiff, RCT so far. So we did some street walks in Cardiff during Halloween, so that was in Ely and Kairos, so supporting again lots of the Cardiff Council team. We've also been in the Cwmtaf area of Ferndale and Aberdare, and then on firework night we did some joint work in Merthyr and in Blaen y Gwent Youth Service as well. So just to talk about a little bit about what we've learned and the benefits to it. So a lot of it's probably going to link into what's been said today as well. So a blended delivery model, first and foremost, is something that we're all going to sort of have to try and get on with moving forward. So incorporating some face-to-face activity with digital activities as well. For us, it's probably going to try and include some street-based youth work as well. And then this has multiple potential benefits. So what we found is widening access to new audiences as well. So people we wouldn't have engaged with before, we now are able to because of the detached work. Connecting with those that are most at risk, and it sort of builds resilience of the program itself then. So with the young people, we understand that some probably wouldn't have wanted to engage in sort of group activities, and now that we've got the detached work, and probably because of COVID, there'll be even more so young people won't want to get involved in group work either. So it's going to have to be us sort of going to them and finding them where they're at. The other good benefit we found is positive community presence as well. So although yes, we're there to support young people and listen to what they have to say, it's also walking around the Cardiff City kit, as you can see a couple of our staff there. Lots of different members of the community recognise the badge itself. So for us, we're able to play on the fact that, well, Cardiff City are winning a few games, which helps at the moment, but we're also able to use the badge as a way of people to just come and interact with us, and sort of it does turn heads, we found sometimes, and just understand what are we doing out there. Maybe we wouldn't typically be the first people that they would think to be out in their community, so therefore it's sort of a good way of engaging with people then. So during lockdown, we've worked collaboratively with partners to continue to provide service, and if it wasn't for key partners like South Wales Police or Cardiff Youth Service or the different youth services around, we probably wouldn't have been able to get out there. So we are thankful for that, and we understand it's better to sort of work together and have a joined up approach and sort of share learning about how things are out back in the communities, and days like this are very useful in terms of doing that as well. And it's something we're actively seeking to do. So if there's areas across South Wales where you might be working and you'd like this type of work, then we're always up for a conversation to sort of see how that could work elsewhere really as well. So integrating different services for young people where needed. So the young person benefits as well. So we've found in our conversations that we've had with them that young people are struggling with sort of mental health issues. That's definitely more prominent. There's obviously then little to do in their areas, so they're seeking better things to get involved in, and I guess that ties in with Nick's point again then really, where if there isn't something positive out there, they may well find themselves ending up on the social media or internet looking at things that aren't going to take them down the right path. So it's important for us to still be active in trying to put a positive message out there. Many of the young people have said that they're not engaged in school or college through the digital learning. It's just maybe it's gone on for too long, they're not interested in it, maybe some of them haven't got the means to be able to do that. And then there's extra pressure on family relationships and friendships we found as well. So many of them are quite negative, and actually being told to stay at home is not the safest place for a lot of these young people, and it's putting extra pressure on some of those relationships, which are then again having a negative benefit on the young people. And the fourth point I now put is improved staff well-being. So a couple of smiles on the staff there for us, and that's been great. It's quite a recent photo. So a lot of our staff have been on furlough unfortunately during this time. And so therefore having some detached work again is allowing staff to reconnect again, sort of come into contact with one another. It's improving their own mental health and being able to take up some more exercise. It keeps you busy walking around doing all these steps, as well as a purpose for working again. So many of the staff, like I said, had time on furlough and they haven't been working. So this just gives them that real purpose to get up and get back out there again. And if those who had been working during this time, they've just generally been stuck on a computer. So it's always better to get some time off the screen and get back out in the community. So what does the future hold? So this is a photo from last week with the British Transport Police. So working 6 till 10 up on the Rumney line, as I said, and that's something we're gonna trial again at some point. But the other sort of for the future integration. So yeah, can we continue to work in partnership with different communities and partners to develop targeted approaches to support young people? We want to build community resilience, help tackle some crime and antisocial behaviour in the different communities with the greatest needs. So that's sort of why we do the Kicks Youth Outreach Programme. And if that's one of your agendas, we'd love to have a conversation with you about that. Shared learning as well. So amongst our partners. So this is another great way today. Listening to Laura's presentation and the sort of learning that they've taken from their street youth work it's great to be able to see that information and see what it means by doing this work. And then collaborative approaches, like I said there, we're happy to sort of work with any other key partners. So please do get in touch if you'd like to. And that's me. And Juma, if there's any questions from anyone, I'm happy to take that. If not, people can take my email or phone number, and I'm happy to get in touch with them personally. Otherwise, that's fine.
Thank you, Zach. That's Zach there for Cardiff Foundation. Any questions for Zach, please? Any questions for Zach? Thank you very much, Zach, for all your information, man. I believe all people have seen that. They'll get in touch with you. And also, I just say out there, if you want to know more about Cardiff Foundation, please, you can contact us. We can leave the question to him, or also there's his email there. Okay, now I just say thank you, Zach, for all your time, effort to join us today. We much appreciate. Now, because of time.